It's November, so for some reason that means Game Boy Color. So today's game is Mickey Speedway USA. Pluto has been kidnapped, so Mickey and friends need to go to random locations of the United States and then drive around in circles to see who's the fastest. I'm not entirely sure how that will help save Pluto, but they clearly know something that I don't, so I will not question it. This is a racing game that uses very similar mechanics as Mickey's Racing Adventure, but they cut out all the weird random crap that you had to do in that game. So now it's just a straight racing game, which, while I kinda missed all that random crap you had to do, ultimately I think this change was probably for the better. Races follow a Grand Prix format, where you do 4 races in a row, and whoever has the most points at the end of it is the winner. The racing is simple and straightforward, where you accelerate, brake, and steer. You can also push up to use items, which are just randomly found in the course. The game's controls are actually really good. This is a fun game. All the tracks here take place in various locations of the United States, so you won't be seeing any fancy Disney set pieces here, but the track designs are still pretty good, and this game also has an arrow that tells you what turns are incoming, which is a massive help and really helps eliminate that issue that a lot of Game Boy Color racing games had, where the small screen size made it impossible to see upcoming turns. In addition to the Grand Prix mode, you also get the time trial mode and a driving school mode where you have to go through obstacle courses in a fast enough time. You do unlock some stuff by doing well enough in these modes, so there is an incentive to play them. And you can also link to Mickey's Racing Adventure using the Game Boy Color's infrared port in order to unlock a track of my favorite American landmark, the Moon. And speaking of linking, you can also link this game to the N64 version in order to unlock Huey in that game. It's not much, but it's nice to see some transfer pack support, and Huey is actually a pretty good racer in that game, so it's worth it. So while I do think this is a pretty good game, there's a couple small annoyances that I have with it. For one, the game seems to really struggle with items, because oftentimes when someone shoots an item, the game slows down to a massive crawl until the item disappears, and then it speeds right back up to where it was again. Not a huge issue, but you will definitely notice it. Also, it can be kind of hard to pass opponents without touching them and getting bumped way back because the tracks are kind of thin, but that's not a major issue either. Mickey Speedway is just a pretty good racing game. It controls well, it's fun to play, and for once, the small screen of the Game Boy Color isn't a problem for racing games, thanks to the handy arrow indicator. So if you're looking for a good Game Boy Color racing game, then you'll have a hard time finding anything better than this one, so definitely one that I would recommend.